Hi everybody, in this video we are going to talk about unit 2.2.2, which is dividing fractions and mixed numbers. And the great thing about this topic is that it's just like our previous topic, except we add one tiny extra step where instead of just multiplying straight across, we keep that first fraction, we change our division sign to multiplication, and we flip that second fraction because we are essentially multiplying by the reciprocal of the second fraction, which is where we get our mantra of keep, change, flip. So we keep the first fraction, we change the sign to multiplication, and then we flip that second fraction. So we're going to fill in some blanks. We're going to practice this, and then that'll make a little bit more sense. So for dividing fractions, whole numbers, and mixed numbers with one another, we will follow the same steps as multiplying. However, we will multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second fraction. Well, what does it mean for something to be a reciprocal anyway, right? So like if we've got the number 5/6 and I say, what's the reciprocal of that? So reciprocal is just, we're flipping it, right? It's going to be 6/5. That's the reciprocal. And we're going to practice more of that down here. So just reminding you real quick, that's what your reciprocal is. And then our mantra of keep, change, flip. So again, if we were doing like 1/2 divided by 5/6, we would keep the first fraction. So that would be 1/2. We change the sign, which is going to be multiplication, and we flip this second fraction or divisor, and that's going to be 6/5. And then we just multiply straight across. So then we would get 6/10, which would ultimately be 3/5. So when you get to spit on people, 3/5. All right. So definition of a reciprocal. Two numbers are reciprocals of each other if their product, so that means multiplication, if their product, when you multiply them together, if it equals 1. Or flip the numerator and the denominator of the original fraction to find its reciprocal. All right, so some examples of, well, how do we, I don't remember what reciprocals are. How do I find them? Well, let's do this one. So I showed you one up above about 5/6. Well, what if we just had the number 5? What would be the reciprocal of just 5? What do you think? What is 5 over? 5 is over what number? 5 is essentially over 1, right? So the reciprocal of 5, if we flip it, would be 1/5. What about if I told you something like, if I gave you the example of 1/3? 1/3, the reciprocal of that, flip it, would be 3/1. That would be a reciprocal. So just kind of in general, if I give you the letter A, the reciprocal of that is going to be, think about that, that's like A/1, right? So the reciprocal of that would be 1/A. And then if I gave you one where it's like, well, let's say we have X/Y. What would the reciprocal of that be? Well, that would be Y/X would be our reciprocal. And again, think about it. It says, how do we know that they're reciprocals of each other? Well, if we multiply them together, the product is equal to 1. So if we multiply like these two together, 1/3 times 3/1, we would end up getting 3/3, 3/3. So 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3, and 3/3 gives us 1, right? So that's how we know for sure that we've come up with the correct number for the reciprocal. So let's try. We're going to do a few examples here. So we've got 3/2 divided by 6. So we keep, we change, we flip. We keep, we change, we flip. If you want, you can reduce too. This will be a 1. That's going to be a 2. Multiply straight across, you're going to get 1/4. Or you would have gotten 3/12, and 3/12 reduces to 1/4. your choice. Second one, let's try 2 2/3 divided by 4. So remember, we've got to convert this first. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8/3. We keep, we change, we flip. So when we multiply straight across, we can also reduce here if you'd like. And then multiplying straight across, we get 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 1 is 3, and we're going to get 2/3 for our answer. Let's try, I'm actually going to have you guys try this one. So maybe you guys do number 3. So we've got 4 3/5, and you're dividing it by 2. Ready, set, go. Try that one out. The answer you should be getting when you're done, where are you, answer? Should be 23/10 or 2 3/10. But show your work. Write out all your steps here and show your work for that one. So pause the video. Pause. All right, now I'm hoping you're done with that example and you're coming back, and we're going to try another one. We're going to do 2 1/4, and we're dividing it by 3/4. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Fourths, we're going to change that. We keep, we change, we flip. Oh yes, we can totally reduce this one. 1 and 1, that'll be a 1. That's going to be a 3. And look at that, all we're left with is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. 3/1 is 3. That's great. I'm going to have you try this one too. I'm going to have you do this one. Number 5, you should get 3. We're taking 3 1/5, and we're dividing it by 2 1/10. 2 1/10. So try that one out. See what you get. You should, at the end of it, let's see. You should be getting 1 and 11/21 or 33/21. So you should be getting either one of those for your answer. So pause the video, pause, do that problem, and then come back. The last one I'm going to do with you is this one, which is 5 1/3, and we are going to divide by 2/3. So we're going to convert this first. So we're going to have 16/3. We keep, we change, we flip. I'm totally going to reduce. I see that we've got 3's here that can reduce. We have a 2 here that can reduce. And then we multiply straight across, and we would get 8/1, which is going to give us 8. Please also remember, I know I'm doing some of this simplifying fast. If you don't remember that, you can go back to the topic of simplifying fractions where I went through it at a much slower pace. So if you're like, oh my gosh, that's so fast, I can't keep up, go back and then look at that other topic, or just put me in slow motion here as we're going through it. Or you do it your own way and just maybe multiply straight across. If you're multiplying straight across, you would have gotten 48/6. And then if you're getting 48/6, then you can reduce from there and you would get 8 for your answer. So you choose how you would like to do that. I'm also going to take a moment to mark down the fact that I am having you guys do 3 and 5 on your own. Okay, and then that gets us down to these application problems. So our first one here, it says that a cook has 18 3/4 pounds of ground beef. How many 1/4 pound burgers can he make? So we're taking a larger portion of beef and we're splitting it up into 1/4 pound burgers. So we're dividing it into smaller portions. So we're taking 18 3/4 and we're dividing it into 1/4 pound burgers. So if I was you, I would go ahead and I would take your first fraction here, your mixed number, and convert it into improper form. So we're going to do 18 times 4, which should give us 72. And then we're adding the 3 to it, which is going to give us our 75. So we're getting 75 over 4, and we're going to change, we're going to flip. And I would totally reduce on this one. Look at how easy that gets. 4 over 4 reduces to 1 and 1. So we get 75 over 1. And we get 75. Well, what does that even represent? 75 what? That's how many quarter-pound burgers we have. So that's 75 quarter-pound burgers that we can make. And then the next one, it says a child needs to take 2 1/2 tablespoons of medicine per day in 4 equal doses. How much medicine is in each dose? So we're taking 2 1/2 and we're dividing it by 4. So let's convert this first. So we're getting 5 halves. We keep, we change, we flip. I don't see anywhere where we can reduce. So let's multiply straight across. And now we're going to get 5/8 of a what? A tablespoon. 5/8 of a tablespoon for each dose of that medication. And that gets us to the end of this topic. Thanks for tuning in.